welcome to our G Suite Basic webinar. Today we will cover G Suite, what it is, and some of the core products aligned with the G Suite. So to get started, I am going to introduce myself. My name is Carolina Perez. I'm an instructional technology technician with the Department of Innovation and Learner Engagement. In the presentation, you will see my contact information. Feel free to email me, give me a call if you have any questions with G Suite. Also, we have Mr. Sean Brown with us. So Mr. Brown will address any questions. So if you have any questions or comments during the 1 hour webinar, you can feel free to type that in and he will answer as we go along. Okay? So I am going to start the presentation. I do see someone has already accessed it, so hello there. I'm going to hit my present. Go ahead and write this bit.ly down here, bit.ly/RUSD Google 20. This will be the link to this actual presentation. A lot of the resources that I'm going to be providing are embedded in this presentation, so it's a good resource for you. It's open to anyone with an RUSDlearns.net account. So feel free to write that down and access this presentation whenever you need it. We are going to ask for you to sign in virtually. We have this bit.ly or this website right here if you have a moment. And I know some of you did answer my survey. A lot of you don't have your RUSDlearns.net information just yet or feel comfortable using it. So later on, if you want to email me, you can, but if you know how to access your RUSDlearns.net account, please feel free to log into this link, bit.ly/1819 sign in, or if you're on the presentation, you can click it and it will direct you to our sign-in sheet. That is just for me to know who joined us on this webinar and for me to have your information, and I can also email you if you have any other questions. So I'll give you like a minute to do so. Again, bit.ly/1819 sign in. Okay, so this is my information. Again, my name is Carolina Perez. I work with the Department of Innovation and Learner Engagement. We handle, there's another technician, myself, Mr. Brown and Stephen Harwood, and we can help you with any of your G Suite or Google questions. My contact is here. My extension is 80310, and there is my email. Like I said, this presentation will have some resources for you. Just remember, if you see this question mark here on any of your G Suite products, you can click it and it will allow you to access a library of videos that give you step-by-step instructions on that G Suite product. And we also have our RUSD Learns knowledge base, which is a site that we've created, and it gives you a lot of information and resources if you have questions with GC products. I'm going to go ahead and just show you that really quickly. If you go to that website and or you click on the link that is there, you have various resources and step-by-step instructions on how to get started if you're a first-time user, if you're using Chromebooks, especially if you are like an instructional aid or you assist teachers. Okay, so just know that that is going to be there for you. Okay, so today we have a short amount of time, but what we will cover is G Suite, what it is, signing in with your RUSDlearns.net account, Google Drive, Docs, and if time permits, we will cover Google Slides. And again, if you are on this presentation, if you click on these blue links, they will direct you to a step-by-step instruction on how to use that product or that tool from G Suite. So what is G Suite? A lot of you did respond telling me you've heard of Google products, you've heard of the Drive, but you've just never used it. So G Suite is basically a group of online applications that Google has compiled, and you have access to using your RUSDlearns.net account. All of our RUSD employees, classified and of course certificated, and our students have a Google account. It is what we call your RUSDlearns.net account. So if you say, hey, I'm an instructional aide or I work in the cafeteria, I don't have one, you do have one, and again, you can give me a call, you can email me, and I will get that information for you. With G Suite products, you have Google Drive available, you have Google Calendar, Sheets, Slides, Gmail, Hangouts or a chat feature, Google Docs, and Forms. There's a couple more that we won't discuss today, but we'll get started with the basics, which is your Google Drive, Google Docs, and again, if time permits, Google Slides. Most of us are used to using the Microsoft software. If you use a computer, in the office, or if you have a laptop, most likely you have Microsoft products installed onto there where you have Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and of course Outlook. So just think of Google G Suite as the same thing, but everything is in the cloud. There's no software to be installed. The way you access this information is again using your RUSDLearns.net account, which all of our employees have. So the drive is what's going to store all your information, and it's all in the cloud. So you can access your storage online anywhere as long as you have that RUSDLearnsAccount.net password and email available. Some of the tools that are included and what we will discuss partially today is Docs, which is like the Microsoft Word version, but for Google. We have Slides, which is like PowerPoint, and then we have Sheets, which is like Excel, which a lot of our office staff uses. And then instead of Outlook, Google uses Gmail, which we all have access to. This RUSDLearns.net password for now does not expire, so it's like a one-time sign-in. If you do forget it, or for whatever reason your computer's wiped off, you can always have it reset by placing a work order and selecting Google as your work type. Okay? If you see a Google sign-in button like this on several websites, if you click on it, it's a single sign-on, meaning you can log in using that RUSDLearns.net password. So logging in, this is probably the most important part, because know that when you have administrators or maybe a supervisor saying, I shared a document with you, you're going to have to be logged into your account so you can access them. Also remember that with this RUSDLearns.net account, we have unlimited storage, so there is no need for you to worry about the memory being taken up. This is all in the cloud, and because it is an EDU account, you're able to have unlimited storage, where if you use Gmail, like a personal Gmail account, it is not unlimited. There's a limit to how much information you can store in there. So I'm going to go ahead and actually exit this out for now, and I'm going to log into my drive like if I were you. So I start everything by going to drive.google.com. Again, that's drive.google.com. I can type that in here, or if you go to Google, you'll see this waffle, this array. This is your app's launcher. So for me, drive.google.com is easy, but you can click once you open the web browser and you go to, let's say, google.com, you'll see this waffle here on the top right. You select Drive, which is this triangular looking item here, and it's going to ask you to log in. Sometimes multiple users are using one computer. If your account isn't available there, you just click use another account, or it'll just say, hey, put your email. So let's say I put my email in, and it'll ask me for my password. Once I'm there, my Drive dashboard will open up. Yours will look identical to mine if you log in with your RUSDLearns.net password. If you've been using Gmail, maybe like a personal account, know that you're not going to see this RUSD logo on the top, or your picture, your little avatar for your district account. If you click on this top right button, you're going to see which account is logged in. If you don't see this Add RUSD Learns account there, then that means you're using a different account. We don't want to use that because you're not going to have access to the documents or the folders that were shared with you through Google Drive using that account. If that is the issue, make sure you sign out, or you add account and you add your @RUSDLearns.net Gmail. So here's the dashboard. We're going to start with the left side. You have a button that says new. This is your to-go button. Whenever you're going to start a new document, a new presentation, a new sheet, or a form, you want to click that, or even like that folder, which we're going to cover in a bit. So that new button creates a new item. You have two drives. You have My Drive, which is yours, and you have a Team Drive. Team drives are drives where you can invite multiple amount of people into one drive. There's no owners on documents. Here, where it says My Drive, you're the owner of this document or this folder or this presentation, where Team Drive, the team is the owner. So there's not one particular person that would own a document. You have the Shared With Me button. If you have other employees or staff or administrators, supervisors telling you, I shared a document with you, remember you start in drive.google.com and you can click Shared With Me. All the documents that were shared with you will appear there based usually on the date that it was shared with you. We have Recent. So maybe you didn't label something or you didn't name it. You can click Recent and all your recent documents will appear. We have our starred documents. Think of this as like a bookmark for important documents. We'll go through that as well. And then you have the trash. Know that sometimes if there's a document you don't need, you started on accident, or you will never need it again, you can trash it and permanently delete it. However, we do have that unlimited storage, so don't be too worried about clearing your trash because you need more space. Just know it's unlimited. Okay, so here, as you can see, you have My Drive. This is where I am right now. I have my little dashboard where it shows me the documents, all the files that I have in folders. If you are a visual person like me, I like to see the folders and I like to see the little preview of the document, but some of you like a list view of items, which is okay. You can click this little icon here, which is like a list, and you can click it, and what it'll do, it'll just make your drive appear in a list view instead of like little icon images. So everything there. And the nice thing about this, it does tell you who the owner is, when it was last modified, and you know the size of the document. But again, if you want your items to appear like in a tile view, you can click that little icon again and give it just a second, and all your documents will then again show as little icons instead of a list view. Okay, so that's your view there. We have the eye on the very top, and this just shows more of the activity. So if you click on a document, a folder, or you just want to see the activity in your drive, you can click the eye here. A little menu will pop up and it'll give you the activity for your drive. So recent activity. Looks like my internet is going a little slow, so just bear with me for 1 second. Okay, we'll wait on that. So My Drive, you'll have your activity for, you'll have your activity here, and then you'll have the details if you need it. So there it goes. That looks like it's going. Okay. So again, that's the list. We went through this side. We do have this question mark. Remember at the beginning of the webinar, I told you whenever you see this question mark here, it is the RUSD training menu. If you have a question regarding the drive, you can click this and you can kind of say again what account we're using on RUSDlearns.net account, because sometimes we have a personal or a different account that may be logged into our computer. We click our account, and then we can type in what we're looking for, or we'll see a library of videos. So just remember that question mark, that RUSD training menu is available in all of your G Suite products. Here, for example, it'll tell me Drive Essentials. I could click on this video and it'll tell me more information about the drive. What if I'm sharing files and folders? It'll do that as well. So that question mark is always there for you as long as you're logged in with your RUSDlearns.net account. Again, we have this Google Apps waffle here. If you ever need to navigate to something else like your Google Calendar or Gmail, that's where you get obviously all your notifications. You can click that waffle and select the app. We have your settings. So this is the little gear. and it'll open up settings for your drive. There's a couple of things that you can personalize on the drive, and then of course if you have any questions. But up here at the very top, you have the little search bar, and this is where you can search your drive. You're not searching the internet, you're just searching whatever's inside your drive. So once you click in there, you can type in a phrase, you can type in the name of the document, or maybe even the person who might have shared something with you. So if you click in here, you can type that in, and anything that appears with that person or that title or that little phrase, it'll appear. So I clicked it once, and what Google has done recently, it kind of knows you. It's kind of scary how it knows you, but it does. And here it'll say who your most recent contacts have been, the most recent items that you've opened. So it's kind of nice. So if it's a recent item, you can just click it there and it'll find it. On here, let's just say I type in G Suite. Anything with G Suite will appear. And just bear with me because it looks like our internet is going in and out, so it might delay a little bit when I'm clicking. So here are my search results for G Suite. Just waiting a little bit. No, okay. Alrighty, so there we go. Anything that says the word G Suite has come up, and as you can see, it's not only documents, we have folders, we have anything that has that phrase. So the bar up here, the search bar, is really good, where it will search not only a word, but it will search a phrase, it will show a document. Not all of these need to be owned by you, it just has to be somehow in your drive, maybe shared by you, okay? So that is your dashboard. So we've covered opening Chrome, signing in, your dashboard, and we're gonna get started with creating a folder. I'm gonna make sure I click My Drive. Again, if you click Team Drive, or someone has invited you into a Team Drive and you click New, those items are gonna go in there. So just be careful with that. Make sure when you're creating something new, you select My Drive. And again, if we wanna start something, what are we gonna click? We're gonna click New. And today we're gonna create a new folder. Now, a lot of us have different positions as classified staff, but it's nice to have your drive organized. I have files from like 2015, maybe when we started using the Google Drive here in RUSD, and mine is not nicely organized yet. However, by creating these folders, I can help myself organize documents based on school year, or maybe even based on classification. So if you work in an office, maybe you can create a folder for your budgets. Maybe you support different staff, or maybe you support different teachers. You can create a folder per teacher. You can create a folder maybe even per student if you're like an instructional aide, or even like our health clerks, sometimes they need to have folders on students because they're special case needs. So I'm gonna click New Folder, and I'm gonna get a little message here. I wanna title my folder. So again, bear with me for 1 second. My Wi-Fi is going, my internet is gone. There it goes. So untitled, we're gonna do this test folder. And this is where you would name it. So if you're gonna do budgets, or maybe you're gonna do, let's say, flyers for the 2018-19 school year, you can name it, create it. And that folder is gonna be created here in your drive. It'll tell you it's working, and it'll let you know when it's completed. And once it's completed, we'll start working inside that folder. So again, to create a new folder, you hit that New button, and you're gonna name it. Now it's been created, and it's down here. Let me scroll down just a little bit. So now that that folder's created, we can either start creating documents in that folder. We can move any file that has been shared with us, or we've created in the past, just didn't really know where it was housed. We can move that in here. The nice thing with these folders, one, you can name it, you can share it. So say we're working on a project and you have a lot of files that need to go in here, but you need to share it with the rest of the office staff, with maybe teachers or administrators. You can share this folder with them by clicking it and selecting the plus and the little person. That's the share. So if I share this folder, they'll have access to it, either viewing, commenting on it, or they'll have full access to edit what's inside the folder. So it is working, so give it 1 second. Okay. So once I hit share, know that when you share with other staff members, you're sharing using that rusdlearns.net account. Don't use the Outlook email. It's not recommended. I think at this point, Google's created or changed it where you can do outside domains, but I would recommend using the rusdlearns.net account. So we're kind of still waiting for that. If I hit share, and then we'll get back to that as soon as our network gets back on. Keeps kicking me off. Okay. Yeah. So just give it a second. It is loading. Okay. We'll get back to the sharing. I'm going to go ahead and label. Okay, so sorry, sharing is unavailable. This is just, sometimes it happens. Remember, this is in the cloud. And if your Wi-Fi connectivity goes in and out, it'll be, it'll give you an error message, but just know that items are saved automatically. So that was a perfect example. Sometimes we do get, our Wi-Fi goes off, but anything that you've done in Google automatically saves. So I don't have to worry about this folder not being created or me losing everything, because the awesome thing about Google is that it will save it for you without you having to go to File, Save. Okay, so it didn't let me do it then. I'll wait a couple minutes for that. But again, we're talking about organization, and color coding is one of the options that you have. If you right click on your folder, you can color code it. So we're working on budgets or we're working on a specific school year. You can right click, color code it, and you can go ahead and, maybe blue for budget or maybe green for budget, right? So once you right click on your folder, you get these options. You can share, again, using those rusdlearns.net usernames. You can get a shareable link, which we'll talk about in a bit. You can move this folder and make it a subfolder in another one. You can make it a starred item. So if you know this is an important item, you can star it. Remember, that's like bookmarking inside of the drive. You can rename it if you need, or you can, here is your change color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click green. Let's just say we're working with budgets. And once that appears, you'll see that little folder take change and it'll become green. So maybe if you want to make this like a little bit more unified, anything that has to do with budget, you can change to green, and there it goes. Okay, so if we right click and we star this folder because we say this is an important folder for me to reference, or you know what, my principal's always telling me I need to look at this document all the time, you can add it to star, and it's going to put it in your starred section here, and it's just a quicker access instead of you having to search the drive. Okay, so that's creating a folder. Again, you start everything off by going to drive.google.com. This is where you can create, and this is where you will get anything that has been shared with you before today's webinar. So that is our folder. Let's go ahead and try to share it again. You want to make sure you select it. You can either right click and hit share, or you can go to the little person up here, but we're going to go ahead and hit share. And once this is loading, remember to share a document from your Google Drive or share a folder. What we suggest is using that rusdlearns.net email. So here, it's going to give me a little bar, and it's going to ask me who I want to share it with. Since Mr. Sean Brown is here today, I'm going to do sbrown@rusdlearns.net, and I'm going to give him permission to this folder. I'm not going to email it to him, add it as an attachment. I can share right here through the Google Drive. If you see there's this little pencil on the right, you click it. Do you want this person to view only anything in this folder, or do you want them to be able to edit, add other individuals, or organize? If you do want to give them that permission, you can click that little pencil and go there. But remember, they're going to have the ability to edit your document, which sometimes is a good thing because you can collaborate, but they can also remove information and add. So it just depends on what permissions you would prefer to give them. I'm going to give him view access only, and it changes that to a pencil, and I could click send, and it's on on its way to Mr. Brown. Now, it doesn't make a copy of it. It's that one form that we are sharing. Um, know that he will get a Gmail notification saying an item has been shared with you. And this is where sometimes we get confused because people will say, I didn't get it in an email. Remember, if you hit that apps and you click Gmail, any notification of items shared with you will be delivered there. But you can also go to shared with me, and that's exactly where you're going to see, or they're going to see the item that you just shared. Okay, so as you can see, I have several folders here. And it's worked out really well because anytime someone added a new document to a folder, I automatically have access to it. So it works out a little bit better for me. Okay. So again, we did go through creating a folder. We searched our drive. Now say we have a document that we've had in the past or we've created. You can either double click this folder, hit new, and start a new item. Or maybe you want to move an item that's already created or shared with you to that folder. You can right click on the item that you want to move in that folder, say move to, or click move to. Once those options come up, let's go ahead and wait for that. I'm going to tell it, move it to the test folder or my budget folder, whatever you named it in this instance. So we have this little green one here. So again, we're going to move to, and we're going to move to the test folder. It's also a simple drag and drop. So if you click this file and you move it into the test folder, that file will automatically go there. It doesn't make a copy of it. It actually moves it into that folder. Okay. So it looks like we're waiting on this just a little bit. Okay. So that's going to be moving files. We went over starred files. Remember that those star files, that's just like bookmarking this file, letting you know it's an important one, and they will appear here in that starred section. Okay. Now, what if you guys are very comfortable with Microsoft Word? Don't worry that you need to create everything again. Know that you can upload these Microsoft Word documents into the Google Drive and it will create a Google copy of it. So here, when we move something or something is shared, a copy is not made, right? A copy is just included into your drive. But if you want to take all your Microsoft Word documents and add them into your drive, that is also possible. You can upload complete folders into the Google Drive or individual files if you need. Okay, so to do that, if we want anything new, where do we go? We go to that new button. So here, when I hit new, you can see file upload and you can see folder upload. Now, if you have tons of folders that you're just, you know what, maybe it's a good time for me to move them over to Google Drive or files, you can do that by clicking new and file upload. I'm going to do one document as an example. Here, there's my Word document that I want. I selected file upload and now I want to hit that, click open. And what it's going to do, it's going to move that file and make it into like a Google friendly document. So again, new, upload. You select the file and what it will do, it will upload it to your Google Drive. Here on the bottom right, and we're just waiting for it to appear, it's going to be a little message that says you have a file being uploaded to your drive. So file upload, select the drive or select the document, and then that document will upload into your drive. Okay, we hit that, open, and then in a few seconds, we're going to get that message here on the bottom right. And again, if you want to upload files, maybe or folders, you can also do that as well, and it'll copy all the content. So here, uploading one item, and you can see it's going to tell you the progress. If you want to cancel it, you can cancel it. But here it's going to let you know when that item is available. Okay. We did mention deleting files. If we accidentally delete a file, we can retrieve it by going to the trash. I'm going to go ahead and give it a second, make sure these files get uploaded, and then it'll be ready to go. And if you guys have any questions regarding any of the items we've covered right now, please let me know. Mr. Brown is here to take those questions. Also, you can reference that PowerPoint again, and it has resources that you can click on. So it looks like my file has now been uploaded, which is perfect. That's what we wanted. So now the files that I had in my Microsoft Word have now been converted and moved up to my Google Drive. So the name would be test123. I'm going to go ahead and click that. And as you can see, that Word document is now a Google Doc. One thing that I do want to let you know is that most of us with our Google Drive, it's not defaulted to where these items are going to automatically convert. It'll ask you if you want to open it with Google Docs, but it'll maintain that Word preference there. If I go to my settings, you remember that gear, I can go to settings and peer, and this is only one time. You'll get this little convert uploads. Every time you convert a Word document into a Google Doc, it'll not make it a Word doc or a Google document until you tell it to. So by clicking this one time and clicking done, it'll allow you to convert those files automatically. It won't show as a preview. When you double clicked it like I did, it will go as a Google document. Okay? So if there's a document you don't want, or it was on accident, or maybe you were just practicing, you can go ahead and let me do this brain pop survey right here. This is from years ago. So if I don't want this document, let me scroll down just a little bit. Say it's this one right here. I can click it, drag it into the trash can, and then that document's gone. It'll say, hey, removed one file. You can quickly undo if need be, but if you want to retrieve that, you can go ahead and hit the trash, and you'll see all your items that have been deleted. Right click, and you can restore this, or you can delete it forever. But remember, we don't need to delete items to free up space because we have that unlimited storage account with your rusdlearns.net. Okay, so again, I'm going to my drive. We saw the dashboard. Here is what we have. Now we are going to get started with Google Docs. And this is where a lot of our office staff, or even like student support staff, it's good for you to know so you can see, okay, I need to create a document, or maybe supporting a teacher or a student. You can go to their drive and show them how to do it from here, or you can maybe work on something that you're doing for your position. So again, we start where? drive.google.com, and to hit something new or to create a new document, we click that colorful plus sign, and we're going to create a new doc. Know that if you click more, you will have options to more of our G Suite core products like Google Forms. You also have Google Sites somewhere in there, which is pretty neat. Okay, and let me go here. We're going to create a new Google Doc. Alrighty, so here's our Google Doc, and remember we talked about that question mark. So here is our RUSD training menu again. All of our RUSD or Google G Suite products will show you that little question mark whenever you open a new document or a new tool. So if we weren't opening Docs and we were opening Google Slides, that question mark's going to appear, and now that question mark is going to cater to the needs of the Google Doc tool. So here, getting started, creating and working with docs, if you select that little arrow or the play button, it'll give you more information. Usually they're videos that you can reference while you're on the actual product. Okay, so similar to our drive, we have that share button, and we'll do that in just a moment. The first thing we want to do, we have our new document. We would title it. So let's just say test 123, which is like one of the items that I opened previously. So now we named it. I didn't have to go file save. You can see that here it automatically saves any changes to the drive. So if for whatever reason, your internet gets disconnected or your device shuts down, know that anytime you make a change, Google automatically saves it for you. And here, the cool thing about this, and a lot of our students already do it, a lot of our teachers already do this, they collaborate. And that's something that I wanted to let you know, that you can collaborate at the same time with other employees. So if I shared this document with you, let's say Sean Brown again, he can get on this document and collaborate with me at the same time. No need for me to save it, email it, have him open it up, edit, save, and email it to me. This is collaboration here. So I named my document. In the basic white, that's where you can start typing. Okay. So very similar to Microsoft Word, you have your tabs here. Okay, so we created our document. Here we have our file tab. And with our file tab, this is where you can change some of the page properties. So one, you can download this document as a Microsoft Word, and that's for you that you're very comfortable with Microsoft Word. You want to use Google, but at the end you want to save it as a Word doc. You can do that by downloading as. We have the version history. So this is really neat because here, if you are collaborating with another employee and changes were made, you can go to the version history and see what changes were made. You can also restore this document to its original format if you did not like or approve of the changes that were made. You can move this item into the folder. So we did create that test or that webinar folder, and we color coded that to green. If we wanted to do that, we can do that from here and not have to go to the drive. If you say, you know what, I'm just over this document, I'm totally messed up, let me start it over, you can delete it here. You can change the language. So sometimes if you have students who are coming in and they're maybe new to the country, you can see if there's a language that benefits them, and Google has a cool thing where it can detect the grammar and some of the spelling on there in their language. So here, page setup is important. This is where you can create a landscape document or a portrait document, just like what we're working on, and of course your printing option. Okay, I'm gonna kind of skip forward and go to the insert. The insert tab is probably my favorite one here. You can insert an image. And if you're used to Microsoft Word, you can see how you would have to download the image from the internet and then save it to your device. Cool thing about Google is that you can go to insert an image and you can search straight from the web. So I'm always gonna probably start off with a dog. Let's do a dog here. As you can see, I don't have to navigate in and out of this tab. I can just search the web on this document by going to insert image, search the web, and then this is where I type what I want. Okay, so say a student is doing a project, they can do that there. Maybe you're working on a flyer and you need a specific image, you can search it there. I'm gonna go ahead and just select, oh actually this one looks like my dog a little bit, so I don't want to select that one, that looks like my Archie. So I'm gonna click that, I hit insert, and this item is now gonna be inserted here into my document. You can click on the picture and manipulate the size by clicking the little blue squares there, okay? There's a couple of different options in the formatting of the picture where you want it, but that's how you would insert an image from the web. You can also insert an image from your device or anything from your drive. So if you have like an event and you have student pictures and you know you saved it to your computer, you can search, or the drive, you can search there, insert from drive, you can search upload from the computer. And so any of those images can be added into this Google document just by going to insert image. You have your table option. So for the table, it's kind of neat. You just tell it how many rows and columns you want by dragging. And then once you've selected the table that you want, you can go there. Okay, select it. I wanted a 4x4. You can format it. If you look at the ruler up above here, you can select the format for your cells there. If you just need it a little bit longer, you can select enter, and it'll just make it a bigger size. But all of that is available just like it is in Microsoft Word. So we're still with the insert tab. You have charts you can add, lines, footnotes, special characters. here is where you will insert a header and a footer, or your page number as well. So that's also there. Cool thing is you can also embed a link. So if you wanted to add a link to this document that sends them to a website or sends them to another Google, let's say presentation or doc that you've created, you can add that here. Okay, so that's our insert tab. So I'm gonna go ahead and move over. I already did the file. We did format. Let's just go back and do edit. Super simple. This is where you can do or undo or redo an item that you've created. Copy and paste, you can do that. Find and replace is also cool, because if, say, you have vocabulary words and you want to replace a certain vocabulary word with a new one, you can always do that there. We have our view option. The rulers are very important for me. I like the rulers there. Document outline, or if you wanted a full screen, you can do that. But those are just like the simple ones like Microsoft Word. We do have our format. Okay, this is where you would do the alignments, the bullets, the numberings, again, header, footers, formatting your table. Very simple to do there. Here's where we get into a couple of the cool Google features. So we have the tools. Tools, of course, spelling. It'll help you with the spelling here. We'll do a word count, review suggested edits. But we also have this explore option. It's under tools, but you can also see it at the bottom of your page on the right side here. But if you go to explore, you can, what do you want it to explore? It can help you explore the web or your Google Docs. So if we needed more information, let's say on this dog, so let's say dog breeds, let's do that. I'm not sure what kind of dog it is, but it's a cute one. But if you want more information, you can navigate the web while you're in here. You can navigate different images and Google Drive. So if you have another document, maybe that coincides with this one, you can click on the drive and find that document and reference it there as well. So that's pretty neat with the Explore option, where you're actually searching the web, and you can see all the results on Google. If you need, like, let's cite this. So if we wanted to get information from here and insert, we can, but then we're gonna have to cite it. So we'll put that citation by clicking the little quotes there. And then at the bottom, it'll tell me where I got that information from. So that's kind of helpful, especially if you're supporting students and they need to cite their work. But if not, I mean, that's just another cool little tool that you can use under tools. You have your dictionary, you have translation of the document. I don't recommend this all the time. If you're translating a simple phrase or a sentence or two, translation here of the document is pretty neat, but I can't guarantee you that the whole paragraph or a whole page will be 100% translated, because it is using Google Translate. We have voice typing. Not sure if it's gonna work with our microphone. Can I go ahead and try it? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try it. So voice typing here is pretty neat. Let me actually get into a better spot in my document. And this is sometimes, it can be helpful for many reasons. If you guys are taking minutes and maybe, or multitasking, you can go ahead and hit tools and you have voice typing. So this is not the first time I've used it. So if it is your first time, it's gonna tell you, or it's gonna ask you, do you wanna allow your microphone? Now your device needs to have either a microphone, or maybe if you have headphones with the microphone and allow it, you're gonna get this little microphone here. So when you click on it and you speak, and as you can see here, it is typing everything out for me. I'm doing absolutely no typing. It's just getting everything that I'm saying through that microphone and adding it in my document, period. Okay? If I keep talking, it's going to keep typing. So I'm gonna click stop, and just know that's a cool little tool, especially for those who sometimes need to support students in the classroom, and maybe they need to do like a talk to text or a text to speech type of deal. So they can click voice typing, and that's pretty neat. Okay, preferences are there. That activity dashboard is good for you if you want to share this document and you want to see if someone or these people are viewing your doc. It's more like an analytics for a page. It's pretty neat, but it's the same thing as this arrow. It'll tell you who's seen your document or your presentation and when. Okay. We have add-ons. Add-ons are pretty neat. I can't get too deep into it because I think it would be a total overload. But if you hit that question mark and type in add space hyphen ons, it'll give you more information. Basically, if you get add-ons down here, you can get different additions to Google Docs that will allow Google Docs to work better for you. So one thing that I use is EasyBib. That's a bibliography, an online like bibliography add-on that can get you an MLA format or your students the format that needs to cite their citations there. Easy Accents is one that I've used with our district interpreters, but that's something that you can on your own time navigate and find different add-ons. Okay, up here you can see that all changes have been saved. As soon as I make them, it does that for me. I'm gonna actually click the changes there. If I am not happy with this document or I need it to be restored because maybe it's the beginning of a new year, but we want to use that same table, I can go back to my original document, hit restore this version, and it'll automatically go to the original document. I don't have too much history on this document, so I'm going to go ahead and just, restore it. And now everything's gone. And oh man, I didn't mean to do that restore. So I'm going to go back here. That's the one that I want. I restored this version and my document goes back there. Okay. So all the tools and all the edits are here. It's the same ones we went through on these tabs. Now, a couple of things because I know we're going to be running short on time. However, again, I want to emphasize that you can collaborate with another user at the same time. So depending on your position, if you work in nutrition services, if you work at a school site, and there is a document that you guys want to work on, you can collaborate and share, okay? Or if you support students, this is how they would share to their teachers. So say I'm done with my document. Now I need to share this document. Google automatically has it on the private mode, so it's not shared with anyone unless you've opened and created a new document in your Team Drive, which we didn't really discuss, so hopefully that mistake won't be made. So now here, I'm done with this document. I can email a link to, let's say, 2 or 3 people by clicking Get Shareable Link, but I want to share this document to one person. I'm going to do S. Brown, select, type in any notes. Please make edits. Okay. I want him to edit this page. So if I see this little pencil, that means if I click it, he can edit. If I want him to make a comment, he can do that. Or if I want him to only view, I would click that. Only view means he can only view it, make no edits. So if someone shares a document with you and they ask you to edit, but you have the only view, you're not going to be able to edit that document. You can request for them to go here and make sure you can edit this document in the permissions. Okay. Once I hit send, he's going to get a notification in his Gmail, his RUSD Learns Gmail, that I've shared a document with him. Okay. So if I hit send, but say this is a document and I want it to go to 50 people. Do you think adding 50 people is efficient? Probably not here. So I can get a shareable link. And with this shareable link, I can copy it and email it out or put it maybe in a document that we were going to send out to all staff and say, hey, click here and you can view it. But now here, remember this one with that shareable link, the first default permission is anyone within RUSD can view. If you have 50 members, or let's say just 5, and you want them all to be able to edit, but you're sending them that shareable link, you can change that here. Anyone at RUSD with the link can edit. and now copy that link, and that link will be shareable. Okay? And send it to them via email or a document, whatever your way of communicating that to them is. Send, and Mr. Brown now has that edit feature here shared with one person. If I go, you know what, I shared the wrong person, I click on that to the wrong person, which it happens. We're like, oops, maybe I send it to Sean Browning, because I did on this one, you see? So Sean Browning, I go to advanced. Oh man, I hit the wrong thing. I'm going to remove it. And now he doesn't have any more access to this document unless I emailed it to him. But in this case, I didn't. So there is a way to remove sharing options with someone who you've already shared it with. And that's by going through share. Okay. We have a couple more things before we get done. But this little comment box here is pretty neat. We use it in our office frequently to leave kind of notes. I'm going to actually click here, and I want to leave a comment. Okay. I want to leave a comment for Mr. Brown. So I'm going to put the +sign S Brown, and I'm going to click his account there. And I'm going to ask him, can you please read and edit? Okay. Question mark. So that is going to add his RUSDlearns.net account, but we want to assign it to him. We want to make sure he's going to read it and do it. So he's going to assign, or I'm going to click that and I'm going to assign it to him. It did not manipulate the document at all. It simply left him a comment, and this means he's going to get a notification that says Carolina Perez has assigned you to something. So at the beginning of the school year, it's really neat. That's where you can make assignments, especially if you're working on a lot of documents. So there. And once he gets this notification, he'll go on the document, he'll complete it, and when he's done, he clicks that little check mark, and it is all done from there. Okay? So lastly, if you want to save this file on a different format, again, we go to File, Download As. You can make this a PDF, or you can make it a Microsoft Word if that's what you prefer. But from here, that is it with Google Docs. We did not have that moment to go on to slides. And the only reason I took a little bit longer is because based on your feedback, I was told that it was very, you guys knew what things were, but have not really used it. So I didn't want to give some kind of overload and you guys not get too much from it. So again, if we want to start anything, we want to go to drive.google.com. That app's little waffle there can direct you to any of our G Suite products. And then again, if you want to create, it's going to be new. But I'm going to go back to our little presentation. I'm going to give you the bit.ly one more time, because don't be scared to just like try it. I know that it's hard and it's something new, but if you go to this website, you're going to get a copy of this presentation. And remember that everything is kind of linked on there. So if you think, hey, this was only an hour and we didn't cover everything, or I need to go back to practice, you can click on this RUSD K-Base. That's our knowledge base. Remember, you'll see that question mark on any of our products. And all these links here have resources for you. So just click on them and you'll get more step-by-step instruction if you want to practice. And then here, it's just everything that we've kind of covered, a little bit more step-by-step. Or it'll have the little video there that'll show you your steps on how to do what we did. This Google Docs one, it does have a cheat sheet on here. If you click on that link, you will be able to get more resources. But for the most part, we are kind of done. We did get some information on there on Google Sites. If you have a moment and you go to our bit.ly with this presentation, you can go to this feedback form. If not, I will email you the link based on who we see signed in. But you can click on this. It'll take you to a feedback form if you're logged in with your RUSDlearns.net account. And if you don't know that account yet, please email me at cperez and I will get that information. It'll ask you some questions, and that's just more feedback for us to improve on these webinars and give our classified employees better resources. That is all for today.